Hello, everybody. Welcome to Live from the Tower, your one stop shop for all things Destiny. So, originally, the next episode was going to focus on the end of Act 1, but Destiny Bulletin over on X and Threads, and I think they're on Blue Sky too, they just posted something that is very interesting. So, filed on Wednesday, October 2nd, 2024, in the U.S. District Court of the Eastern District of Louisiana, a lawsuit was brought by Kelsey Martineau, a Louisianan based writer. And they claimed that the Red War storyline and the depiction of the Red Legion in Destiny 2 were taken, quote unquote, directly from his original work published online years before the game's release in 2017. So that's the premise for the lawsuit. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about what Bungie has brought to the courts. In a new filing submitted this week on Tuesday, February 24th, 2025, that date is wrong. The 24th is Monday, so this was filed yesterday. Bungie responded to Martineau's arguments and made a statement about Destiny 2's content vaulting. Bungie's head of engineering, David Aldridge, stated under oath that the original Red War campaign was removed from the game in 2020 and that it is now impossible to access it in any playable form. According to Aldridge, while Bungie did archive the original game code, the rapid evolution of Destiny 2's underlying technology means that the Red War campaign is completely incompatible with the game's current operational framework. Even if Bungie wanted to bring it back, it would probably have to be rebuilt from scratch rather than simply reactivated. And here are some quotes. In November 2020, the Red War campaign was retired from Destiny 2, such that it was and remains no longer accessible. Before this suit, Bungie archived the original code that comprised the Red War campaign, known as a legacy build. However, the legacy build for the Red War can no longer run because it is outdated code and it is incompatible with Destiny 2's evolved underlying operational framework, which has evolved considerably since the Red War was retired. As we know, they did an engine shift in Beyond Light. This is what I assume he's referring to, because as far as we know, the engine hasn't gone under any heavy redoing or remodeling since Beyond Light. Quote, as a result, Bungie cannot feasibly provide the court with the original Destiny 2 game as it existed in 2017, including the accused Red War campaign, in any operable or reviewable form. Nor will Bungie be able to produce the original accused campaign in operable or reviewable form should this matter proceed to formal discovery. This is a big deal for one major reason. Bungie had stated, when vaulting became a thing, leading into Beyond Light, that what the Destiny content vault would allow them to do is to pull content from Destiny 2, brush it up, and return it to us at a later date in some shape or form. We've seen that with the return of Titan for Season of the Deep. We've seen that with the return of the Gambit maps for episode Heresy. But this now makes it clear that Bungie has no intention of returning the content that we paid for. Bungie has no intention, at least in the foreseeable future, of bringing back all of the old campaigns. And you may sit there and say to me, well, nobody's going to play the Red War. That's why they took it out. Really? What about the Leviathan? What about the raid layers? What about Crown of Sorrow? What about all the things we loved that weren't just the Red War campaign? You're never going to get to play that again, because Bungie can't put it back in the game. And this is a disservice to the players, because now it's almost confirmation that the New Light experience will continue to be broken. For those of you who are veterans and haven't played the New Light experience, it's horrendous. You go to the EDZ, you do a handful of missions in the Cosmodrome, you do a strike, you go to the tower, you meet the vendors, and then you're left there. Unless you have a guide, whether on your computer, in your phone, or someone in Discord telling you where to go, you have no idea how to progress. If you do have a guide, you'll most likely be directed to Shadowkeep, which in the grand scheme of Destiny 2's narrative is the beginning of Act 2. People may not think the Red War is important. When you look at Destiny 2 as a whole, and this could be said for some seasonal narratives, not all, but some seasonal narratives, when you look at everything pre-Beyond Light, all of those main expansion campaigns have a role to play in where the story is right now. Forsaken is the reason why the Final Shape campaign is as good as it is. Because Forsaken is where Uldren Sov killed Cade 6. And half the point of the Final Shape campaign is Cade 6 passing the mantle of Hunter Vanguard to Crow, who is the newly risen Uldren Sov. Cade 6's death feels impactful for two reasons. One, veterans were with him the entirety of Destiny 1. Two, even if you jumped in at Destiny 2, he was there since vanilla, up until Forsaken. So Bungie vaulted this content, and they have no means of bringing it back. So if you're watching this as a new player, I'd love for you to play Destiny, because it's actually fun. It is fun, especially when you have a clan, but it's gonna take a bit of a learning curve, because you'll be starting in the second act Destiny 2's story, because that's what Shadowkeep is. Bungie had came out years ago and said Shadowkeep is really where this Light and Darkness saga kind of picks up and kicks off. No. Shadowkeep's Act 2. Act 1 is Red War through Forsaken. If you want to get technical, even up to the Season of Opulence, the Crown of Sorrow, which teases Savathûn. I don't think people remember or realize that. Everything we have narratively now was planted and seeded and teased in all the content they took away from us. Again, you might just say, what's it matter? No one's going to play those campaigns again. Half those guns are reissued anyway. That's not the point. The point is game preservation. Destiny 2 is one of the only MMOs I know of where they just remove half the game. World of Warcraft, yes, they had the Cataclysm that changed the world, but you can play everything in World of Warcraft. Hell, they even put out classic mode so you can play it before the Cataclysm. Not Destiny 2. Destiny 1, like I mentioned earlier, you can play start to finish. Not Destiny 2. You pick up Destiny 2 in the middle of the story, and Bungie just thinks that it's okay. Listen, I don't want to be all doom and gloom. I love Destiny. I play it more than any other game. I have 1,000 hours clocked in on my PS5 alone. That's not counting the time when I was playing on Steam. This one stings, because it's not just a blow to Destiny. It's a blow to game preservation. And it's a blow to the player base. From the way things are going, Destiny 2's player base is diminishing, and Marathon's not going to do anything to bring those people back in. A lot of people finished their journey with the Final Shape. They didn't see Episode 1 echoes. Some people are coming back for Heresy, but do you want to get new players, Bungie? Do you want to inject new blood into this ecosystem? Bungie took some of the greatest content that was ever made in this game. Forsaken, Leviathan, Crown of Sorrow, Season of Opulence, the Black Armory, Niobe Labs, which everyone lauds as fantastic. They took it out of the game, and now they can't even put it back. So pardon me if I sound jaded, because I am a little bit. Because even rereading those quotes, oh, they have the code, but it's not compatible with Destiny 2, which essentially means it might as well not exist. With this article and this court filing, Bungie has made it clear that the content you paid for, that I paid for, the content that we want in the game, the content that'll help new players understand the world they're setting foot in, is gone, and it is almost definitely never coming back. With all that being said, thank you guys for watching, and until next time, fly safe, Guardian.